Success made your life scalable. It made your life unstable. You've been grinding harder than most men will ever understand, and your body is worse than it was 3 years ago. That's not an insult. That's a pattern. Welcome back to Iron Suits, where strength wears a crown. I am your host, Marwan Kilu. And today, I am going to show you why high-performing men stop progressing while average men keep improving. Because right now, somewhere in a commercial gym, there is a guy who makes $60,000 a year, works 40 hours a week, and just hit a PR on his deadlift. He's improving, you're not. And you can't find out why. You've applied more discipline to your business than he'll apply to anything in his entire life. You've built systems, you've optimized, you've delegated, you've scaled, and yet he's getting stronger while you're getting softer. The assumption that you're making right now is that you need to work harder, apply more effort, find the discipline you used to have, get serious again. That assumption is the problem. Let me show you what's actually happening. The average man trains in a stable system. His work doesn't follow him home. His stress is predictable. His sleep is consistent. His recovery is automatic. He doesn't need discipline. He needs a program and 3 hours a week. You don't live in that world. Your work is elastic. Your schedule is non-negotiable. Your energy is borrowed for tomorrow. Your sleep is conditional. You live in a high-variance environment, and discipline doesn't survive variance. Here's a part you don't say out loud. You tell yourself you don't have time, but that's not true. You have time. You just don't have a stable time. You tell yourself you're too tired, but that's not the issue. The issue is you never know when the fatigue will land. You tell yourself you start Monday, and Monday comes, and something breaks, and you adapt because adaptation is what made you successful. But adaptation is not a training strategy. It's a survival reflex, and it's keeping you stuck. You've looked at your calendar this week, and you already know which sessions you can miss. The average man can follow a program because his life doesn't fight the program. Your life is the fight. Every week is different. Every day rewrites itself. Every plan you make has a 40% chance of collapsing by Wednesday. So you do what you've always done. You apply effort when you can. You push harder when it's available. You train when the window opens. And that works in business. In business, inconsistent effort still compounds. A great week can cover a bad month. One deal can change a year. Momentum is forgiving. Your body doesn't work that way. Your body doesn't care that you crushed it on Saturday if you disappeared for 12 days before that. It doesn't reward heroic effort. It rewards repeated signal, repeated stimulus. And you're not sending a signal. You are sending a noise. Or you're sending noise, not a noise. Effort without rhythm is just damage. Let that sit. You're not weak. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're applying a business-grade operating system to a biology-grade problem. And biology doesn't negotiate. The average man plateaus when he stops showing up. That's his limiter. Consistency. You don't plateau because you stop showing up. You plateau because you never stop trying to show up. You're always in the game, always planning the next session, always telling yourself this week will be different. And that constant mental load creates the illusion of progress. But your body sees something else. It sees randomness. It sees chaos. It sees a system that can't be trusted. So it protects itself. It downregulates. It stops adapting. Because adaptation costs energy. And your body won't spend energy on a process it can't predict. You know exactly what you should weigh. And you haven't been that weight in years. Here's what that looks like in practice. You train Monday. Life explodes Tuesday. You're back Friday. You go heavy to make up for it. Then you travel. Then you get sick. Then you rally and you hit 2 great weeks. And you think those 2 weeks matter. They don't. And they're an anomaly. And your body knows it. It's not counting your best weeks. It's counting your average signal over 12 weeks. And that average signal is flatline. The average man improves because his effort is boring. Yours isn't. Your effort is heroic. It's volatile. It's impressive when it lands. But heroism doesn't build muscle. Predictability does. You've been told the problem is discipline, but it's not. Discipline works when the environment is cooperative, when you can plan, when you can repeat, when you can trust tomorrow to look like today. Your environment is adversarial. It punishes planning. It rewards reaction. It makes stability a luxury. And you've gotten so good at operating in that environment that you've gotten what stability, you've forgotten what stability even feels like. But your body hasn't. It's waiting for it. Here's the internal conversation you're not having. You see the average man in the gym and you think, he doesn't understand pressure. He doesn't carry what I carry. And you're right, because he doesn't need to. Because the pressure you carry is the reason you're stuck. Not because you're weak under it, because you've normalized it. You've turned chaos into competence. You've made variance feel like control. And that competence is costing you your body. You stop taking your shirt off in certain situations. The average man trains the same time every week because his calendar allows it. You train when you can because your calendar doesn't. The average man eats the same meals because his routine supports it. You eat what's available because your routine is variable. The average man sleeps 7 hours because nothing disrupts it. You sleep when work allows it. And you think that makes you tougher. It doesn't. It makes you adapted to survive instability. But survival and progress are not the same thing. Progress requires margin, and you don't have margin. You have momentum. Momentum feels like progress. It's not. Momentum is borrowed energy. It works until it doesn't. Progress is structural. It's durable. It survives disruption. And structure is the one thing your life resists. Because here's the truth you already know but won't admit. You can't out-effort your environment. You've been trying, and it worked for a while, because you're exceptional. But exceptional effort in a chaotic system just creates exceptional fatigue. And fatigue looks like discipline failure. So you think you need more discipline. You apply more effort. You create more fatigue. And the cycle tightens. Because the average man doesn't need to be elite to improve. He just needs not to interfere with his own biology. You're interfering constantly. Not because you're doing the wrong things, because you're doing them in the wrong pattern. Your body doesn't care how hard you train. It cares how predictably you trained. It doesn't care how much you want it. It cares how much you can systemize it. And systemization is the thing your life punishes. So here's where you are. You're more capable than the average man. You carry more. You produce more. You operate at a level most people can't even conceptualize. And your body is worse. Not because you're weak, because the strengths that made you successful are now liabilities. Your ability to adapt is making you unpredictable. Your ability to push is making you unstable. Your ability to sacrifice is making you unsustainable. And none of that is failure. It's just physics. You've already decided that this isn't the year either. The average man plateaus when he stops trying. You plateau while still trying. That's the difference. And that's the problem. Because as long as you're trying, you think you're making progress. But trying without a structure is just noise. And your body stopped listening to noise a long time ago. You don't need more efforts. You need less variance. You don't need more discipline. You need more predictability. You don't need to work harder. You need to work inside a system that your body can trust. And you can't build that system by trying harder. You build it by controlling less and structuring more. The average man improves because his constraints are external. Yours are internal. And internal constraints feel like freedom, but they're not. They're dressed as control. They're chaos dressed as control, rather. You're not broken. You're just operating in the game. Your body wasn't built to win. And until you change the game, the effort won't matter. That's all I've got for you today. I hope this episode was helpful. If it was, make sure you leave me a review, a positive review on iTunes. If you're listening on iTunes rather, Make sure you subscribe to get a notification when the new episode goes live, and share this episode with another leader. That's how we spread the message. As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. You can watch this video or you can watch this episode rather on video on YouTube if you want, under Marwan Kilu. You can leave me a comment on there as well if you like. I'm subscribed to the channel. Follow me on my socials. I am on Facebook.com, Marwan Kilu, and LinkedIn.com, Marwan Kilu Fitness. Until next time, have a great day, friends.